Never in history has a modern military, Iran had a modern military, a modern navy, a modern air force, modern air defenses, leadership, massive bunker. Never has a modern military been so rapidly and historically obliterated, defeated. We have a president of the United States that when he sends his warfighters out to fight, he unties their hands to actually go out and close with and destroy the enemy as viciously as possible from moment one.
At Fort Bragg in North Carolina, the 82nd Airborne Division is preparing to move troops and equipment to the Middle East. The brigade, approximately 3,000 soldiers, serves as the Division Ready Brigade, part of the immediate response force whose mission is to deploy anywhere in the world within 18 hours of notification. The order has come in, and the clock is running. Across the base, roughly 3,000 paratroopers are packing their gear. In the barracks and staging areas, soldiers load rucksacks with clothing, rations, and essentials. They clean their M4 rifles, breaking them down, wiping the bolt carrier groups, oiling the moving parts, reassembling and function checking. Machine gunners pull belted ammunition from crates and feed the linked rounds through their weapons to verify smooth feeding, then coil the belts and pack them into ammo cans. Spare barrels, cleaning kits. By dawn, these soldiers need to be on the aircraft and in the air. While the soldiers prepare in the hangars, the airfield is already running. Ground crews are working on the C-17 Globemaster III aircraft lined up on the tarmac. On the ramp, loadmasters direct forklifts hauling pallets of equipment and military vehicles up the rear cargo ramps into the aircraft bays. Armored trucks, Humvees, and HIMARS rocket launcher vehicles are driven aboard and chained to the cargo deck. In the cockpits, the pilots power up the avionics and begin their own checks. Navigation systems, radar, flight management computers. Everything is tested before the first soldier sets foot on the ramp. The order reaches the hangars. Time to move. The soldiers grab their bags and personal weapons and file out of the buildings onto the airfield.
To remind you guys, when you guys go down and you're about to hit that ground, make sure you slow down, spread your...
The C-17s are waiting with their rear ramps down. The soldiers walk toward their assigned aircraft carrying duffel bags and hard cases with their equipment. At the ramp, they set their bags onto the cargo roller system built into the aircraft floor. One soldier inside the bay stacks the bags tighter, pushing them together and pulling cargo straps and tie-down cables across the load to lock everything in place so nothing shifts during the 14-hour flight. The soldiers climb aboard and take their seats along the walls and in the center rows. The mood is loose. Some talk to each other, some joke around, some pull out phones for a last look before putting them away. This is not their first deployment, and for most of them, the routine of loading onto a C-17 is as familiar as getting on a bus.
Is this your first time? What did you take? Some anxiety medication. What?
The rear cargo ramp lifts up first. Then the upper section of the door folds down and seals against the lower ramp, locking the aircraft shut and pressurizing the cabin. The engines start, all 4 Pratt & Whitney turbofans spooling up one after another. The C-17 taxis out to the runway, lines up, and accelerates. The heavy transport lifts off and climbs into the morning sky. 14 hours later, the first C-17 touches down at a military airfield in Qatar. The rear ramp drops the moment the aircraft reaches the unloading area. The offloading begins immediately. HIMARS rocket launcher vehicles start their engines, unchain from the cargo deck, and drive down the ramp straight onto the tarmac. They do not stop at the airfield. They drive directly to their assigned firing positions near the border. Armored vehicles follow behind them. Cargo pallets are pulled off by forklifts. The turnaround is fast. On the aircraft carrier USS Abraham Lincoln, operating in the region, Marines are loading into helicopters for their own deployment to Qatar. They board Sikorsky MH-60S Nighthawks and V-22 Ospreys parked on the flight deck. Full combat gear, rifles, body armor, packs, ammunition. The helicopters lift off, one after another, and fly toward the Qatari coast. The Marines are being concentrated at this location for rapid reaction capability. A large ground force positioned close enough to respond immediately if the situation escalates. The Marines land in Qatar and move directly to a camp that has already been established by advance teams. Tents are up, perimeters are set, communications are running. The arriving troops drop their gear, receive a quick orientation briefing, and take their positions. At the same time, transport ships offshore begin launching amphibious assault vehicles into the water. The assault amphibious vehicles are armored tracked machines that operate both on water and on land. In the water, they are propelled by water jets mounted at the rear of the hull, pushing them through the sea at speeds of up to 8 knots. The hull is sealed and buoyant, keeping the vehicle and the Marines inside it above water. Once the AAV reaches the shore, the water jets shut down and the vehicle transitions to its tracks, driving up the beach and onto solid ground like a conventional armored personnel carrier. It can carry up to 21 Marines with their gear and is armed with a turret-mounted machine gun and grenade launcher. Behind them, landing craft air cushion vehicles emerge from the transport ships. These are large hovercraft that ride on a cushion of air generated by massive fans at the rear. Each LCAC can carry several trucks, armored vehicles, or up to 60 tons of cargo across the water at speeds exceeding 40 knots. They skim across the surface, spraying seawater behind them, and drive directly up onto the beach without stopping. The ramp drops, and the vehicles inside drive off onto the sand. Humvees, cargo trucks, armored personnel carriers, all delivered straight from ship to shore in minutes. Multiple LCACs made repeated runs between the transport ships and the beach, shuttling vehicles and equipment until everything was ashore. At the airfield in Qatar, helicopter crews loaded belt ammunition into the feed trays for their M240 machine guns mounted on the doors. The belts were inspected link by link, fed through the receiver, and the charging handles pulled back. The guns were hot. The helicopters lifted off and began flying patrol patterns over the surrounding territory, scanning the sky and ground for Iranian drones. If a Shahed appeared on their sensors or was spotted visually, the door gunners would engage and destroy it before it could reach the troops or the base. The patrols ran continuously, one helicopter returning to refuel and rearm, while another took its place in the air. The perimeter was covered at all times.